Welcome back to another video, and in this one I am going to rant because I am mad. Well, not really mad, but I am a little mad, and the reason why is I kind of feel like I was lied to. So you know how when you're playing a game there might be an item that you really want to get, and then when you get that item you are super happy. Well, that is the experience I got when I finally obtained this weapon. I really wanted the Fiend weapon, and when I finally got it, I was ecstatic because it was as shown, and I got everything I was promised when I obtained it. Would have been nice if I had gotten the pet the same time as the sword instead of having to farm for the pet separately, but whatever, that's a different matter. Today, I got the Fiend of Nulgath, and this is an armor set that I had been wanting to get ever since it came out, but just, you need to find the time to farm for it and stuff and prioritize. So I finally set some time aside where I could farm for each of the Void Knight pieces so that I could finally obtain my Fiend armor set. And when I finally completed the quest and turned it in and threw this set on, I'm looking at it and I love the design of it because it is very similar to what I was expecting. However, something's missing, and when I was standing there looking at myself, I'm going, what's missing? Why is this not as cool as it looks on the character here? And then I discovered why. It's the cape. This character right here is wearing the exact same thing as me, minus my wings, because I don't have the cape. And then I realized that's what we're missing on this armor set. I was lied to, essentially, because you're expecting to look like this, but I am upset that we don't have the cape, which brings me to another matter. We have multiple Nulgath items, which we still have not obtained yet, and it seems like they might be a thing of the past. Are they actually? Another thing that I had an issue with was this thing right here. Now, this is the blood armor set. This helm technically doesn't really go with it, but it is kind of supposed to, but the color of it is so different, it looks horrible together. I really wish they had kind of thought that through, but mind you, the helmet was made long before the other item. Now, we do know that there are going to be other things coming because it is mentioned right here. Keep tuned, more empowering quests will come soon. So this is obviously there are going to be more items added eventually, but it seems that the Nulgath phase of things is starting to be a thing of the past, not something that we're going to be seeing much more of in the future, especially when we see things like the museum coming, housing coming, and a new saga eventually. So it seems, when are they going to have the time to work on these items? Are we going to be missing everything that completes our armor sets that we currently have? Like that cape that we're missing. Obviously, it's in-game. If it's on an NPC, means that it's an existing model, so it can be in the game, but it's not. Currently, we have a extremely limited number of level 45 capes. So it seems kind of unusual that they wouldn't add something, especially when they already have the existing model in the game. Now, in AQ World, they have this item right here, which is a Legion version of the Fiend blade, which I think would be really cool to have in the future. Now, this technically isn't Nulgath related, but who knows? We might see something like this in the future. What I was really hoping to see with the Nulgath Saga was this item right here, the Dragon Fire of Nulgath. I was really hoping this, which is one of the classic Nulgath items, was going to appear in the game. With the whole Nulgath Saga winding down, it seems very unlikely something like this is ever going to come to AQ3D, which is a huge disappointment. At the very least, I was hoping to see the Dragon Blade in the game. I mean, this is also another classic, probably even more classic since more people tend to like this over top of the Dragon Fire. Now, we do have a Kickstarter item that's kind of similar to this, but not really. The Kickstarter item looks more like this weapon, and it's roughly the same size as this because it's not all huge and glorious like the Dragon Blade is. The item I was really expecting to see was this one, the Ungodly Reavers of Nulgath. Now this, out of all the other weapons, this is definitely the most Nulgathy of Nulgath weapons. When this first came out, everybody and their grandmother wanted this weapon. It actually took me years before I finally did obtain it, but yeah, the fact that these were not in the game in any way, shape, or form still surprises me, seeing as how this was the go-to Nulgath weapon at one point. So in conclusion, is the Nulgath Saga over? I don't think so, because there's mention of the empowered items still coming. There's also items that we are still missing that they do have model for. Example, the cape for the armor set I'm currently wearing. Are we ever going to see the Dragon Blade or the Dragon Fire or the Ungodly Reavers of Nulgath? Probably not. I don't see those ever coming, which is really, really unfortunate. If you guys have been following my live streams, you've noticed that I have been playing through the Nulgath story again. When I first played through it, I wasn't thrilled with it. There was a lot of things that nostalgia value did not have. Introduction to characters were nostalgic, but the locations and the unique story really did not have that nostalgic value to it. However, playing through the game again a second time on my live streams, I'm really enjoying myself, and the story is flowing very, very nicely. I didn't give it quite as much credit as I should have, since the introduction of the 4 pets that we got, the free pets, and the Nulgath larvae and the Void companion. It's made it a lot easier for farming Nulgath stuff. I mean, it takes literal hours instead of days to farm for the Nulgath items, and this is a huge difference compared to when the Nulgath Saga first came out a year ago. And after enough time of farming and playing with the different pets and running the challenge, the extremely complicated farming system actually works. I mean, it's not a perfect system, but you do get a lot done in a rather short amount of time. The complexity of the quest is what adds the replayability to it. So to wrap this up in a nice little package with a pretty little bow, they need to finish introducing the items that they plan on bringing out, like the Fiend Void Cape and the crystal, the pure crystal Phoenix Blade, and the other items that have been teased on Twitter. It'll be wishful thinking to hope that there would ever be an Ungodly Reaver, but I feel overall this Nulgath content really has given us a lot to do. Fennel did a really good job at recreating the original feeling of the AQ world Nulgath farming. Whether you like it or not, regardless, we gotta give him credit. What items were you guys hoping to see in the Nulgath Saga? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching and keep those swords swinging.